Marhaba everyone, and welcome to Arabic Week 10. This is our last week. So to begin, كيف الحال اليوم? So hopefully everyone is جيد جدا as finals week's coming on and we're soon done with this semester. Like I mentioned last time, this would just be something they'd keep reviewing at home. And if they wanted to, we would go through it again if they needed clarification on something, they forgot how to pronounce a letter. Same with the numbers. This would just be something I remind them, don't forget to review this. And this would be something they could obviously keep and use once our time would be over. So today's lesson is all about the souk or the market. So I'm going to just list off some grocery items, starting with tomatem or tomatoes. Then we have batatas, which I used a couple weeks ago as one of our words for dissect the word. And I mentioned then, and I'll just reiterate, that the Arabic language doesn't have the p sound. So anything that would have the p taken from other languages, they replace with the b. So Pepsi becomes Bepsi. So same thing with potatoes, it's batatas for the Arabic language. Mangoes is manja, apples, tufa, oranges. We talked about this with the colors. Is bortical when you're talking about the fruit, and borticali when you're talking about the color. Bananas, mouse, cheese, jubna, eggs, bayid, and something that is culturally relevant. A lot of the times they will have in the souk, specifically, maybe not in grocery stores, that's more commercialized, but in the markets themselves, they will have fresh eggs. They have chickens just in cages around the marketplace, so you can buy fresh eggs every day. Or if you're more commercialized and you want to go to the store, they have cartons just like we have here as well. Bread is khobz, which is similar to the Hebrew version, which is challah. So Hebrew and Arabic are similar in a lot of things. So that's just one kind of similarity that a lot of people mention when comparing the two languages. Milk is halib. Juice, just in general, is asir. So that could be referring to any type of juice. When you get more specific, you can say like orange juice would be Portugal asir or asir Portugal. It doesn't really matter the order because it's understood that you're talking about orange juice. You just like English, you could say juice of an orange. It just would be a little awkward and not common. And then asir Portugal and asir tufa, so apple juice, orange juice. Tea is shai. It's similar to chai tea that we have, and that's actually where the word comes from, is referring to chai. Coffee is kahwa, so remember this letter here. Whoops, I didn't select the pen. This letter here is very breathy, um, and you basically just sigh through the word, so kahwa, and it's just very airy and light. Sugar is sukar, which is very similar to a lot of languages, um, German included. So it's pretty much the same word, and you will more commonly find it in the cube version than here where you can buy a bag of sugar because the cubed version is used to make the tea that is very popular, the mint tea. They just boil water and put these sugar cubes in the bottom. Rice is urza, which I know some people have said is similar to Spanish. Um, so that's rice. Cookie is biscuit, and that's kind of taken from the British idea of a biscuit being a cookie. And this particular picture that I chose is a date cookie, which is really popular right now during Ramadan. And it has like date syrup in the cookie, and they're delicious. So that's biscuit is talking about like a sweet cookie. Macarona is macaroni or pasta. Um, there's not a lot of versatility in the pasta, I guess, as we have here. It's mostly just macaroni or the long, like spaghetti noodles in the souks, the markets themselves. But like I mentioned before, they have big commercial stores which you can get pretty much anything. But traditionally speaking, it's either this or just the string pasta. Cake is kak, and this right here is a semolina cake that's also popular during Ramadan, and it's very good. I've had this too. It's very sweet and almondy. They usually sweeten it with date syrup as well. Some people, it's not sweet enough. They'll add the syrup. So, shampoo, like I mentioned, the B and the P replacement, so it's shampoo, and they just get it from like foreign languages. They just take the same word. Soap is sabun, and that just refers specifically to a bar of soap. Toothpaste is majun el esnan, so that is basically the tube version of toothpaste. They also have a pellet version of toothpaste where you chew it with water. It's just easier to travel with the pellets. So the word for tube is abuba, and you can just use that referring to tube toothpaste, or they have um, tubes of like tomato paste. You can talk about any kind of tube with this generic word. Box is alba, and this just means any kind of box, pasta box, a box of cereal, any kind of box, referring to food, not cardboard boxes. A piece or slice is qata', and that can be talked like using pie, cake, anything that you take a portion of in terms of a piece or slice. So these are some photos of souks in Morocco. This is in Meknès, which is really popular for tourism. There's a big castle, fortress kind of thing there. So both of these pictures were taken in Meknès. The souk in Meknès is very big, so we got to explore that, and it was amazing. These are some more pictures. These are kind of like sweet cookie cake balls of dough, I guess. They're covered in honey, and they're eaten during Ramadan. As soon as you break your fast, this is really common. This is also really common over here, this picture, having fabrics to display because a lot of people, especially in Morocco, get their clothing made for them, tailor-made, instead of buying them commercial like we do in America. Just some more pictures. There's some dates right here, which are very popular during Ramadan, and some more of the sweet cookies covered in honey. Ceramics are a big market in Morocco, and they're featured in souk. So this is just a really common example of a shop face. This is what it is. You walk in, usually this guy in the middle would be the one who owns the shop. You bargain with them, you get the price that you can agree on, and then you leave with your ceramic piece. And lastly, this is just an example of some herbs that are just loose and you kind of scoop your own into a bag. They don't really have shakers like we do in America. They kind of just weigh them out themselves. And you can see back here, argan oil in Morocco is very popular because it's so abundant there as a resource. And a lot of the times in the souk, things are written in French and Arabic for people who speak one or the other or both. So, an activity that I had planned was a store activity. So, each student would receive a cutout of the grocery items, um, and they would be also given a list in Arabic, and they have to pair the words with the cutout items. And I give them about 10 items total to translate, and it would be a race competition to see who could pair them together the fastest. So this is just kind of an example of what they'd get. So this is the Arabic side, obviously, and they can write the English version on this side and then pair with the physical cutout. Whatever's easier. I just wanted to give them the chance to write things side by side if that's how they work best. And also today would have been the food day. So I was going to bring in some mint tea, some hummus, some of those honey cookies, and a few other things that they requested to finish out the class time. So that's all I have. Um, Thanks for watching.